Follow you into the jungle.
Alrighty, guys, thanks for joining us today. Were there any points brought up in this session that you think are particularly important for attendees to walk away with?
Absolutely. Everything that I said in there, you should walk away with. No, seriously, we talked about the different strategies that you need to use, and the basic thing here is make sure you have the key metrics in place to follow up on whatever type of situation that you're in. If you're cradle to grave, if you're due date, if you're by alphabet, bucket, the bottom line is make sure you have the strong measurement in place and your collectors understand what they're being measured on.
Right. Did any of the panelists say anything that made you reconsider your collections methodology?
Not me, no.
Nope. You're all correct.
They're wrong, I was right.
Indeed.
All right, how much tighter do collection processes have to be nowadays in light of the regulatory world that's becoming more interested in the buy here, pay here community?
Start with them.
Yeah, well, since this is for the record, we have been and will always be compliant in every situation. We take it very seriously, as we have always.
Ray's views do not represent those of MCN. Next level at this point, it really is. That's where regulatory is, that's where it's going. So your collections departments have to go above and beyond what's expected. You've got to start thinking, not just doing the basics, but you have to start thinking, what can I do that's better than the basics?
It's more than letter of the law nowadays. We already are compliant to the letter of the law in most cases. Now the standard is becoming much broader. It's much more about doing the right thing. And let's let someone else define what the right thing is, because it's not defined legally. That's one of the big concerns we have. So we've got to be cleaner than ever, smarter than ever, more responsive than ever.
Even with the technology that's available, how difficult is it to reach and maintain contact with customers?
I honestly don't think it's any easier, and the reason being, it's still the customer. Doesn't matter what technology is available, it's whether or not they want to call you back. So, I mean, technology's made it, given us more avenues to reach out to them, but it still comes back to that customer and do they want to talk to us? So I don't know that it's any easier to talk to them. There's just more ways to get in touch with them.
Touch on that?
Sure. Technology didn't just change things for us, it changed it for the customer as well. Just look at the use of smartphones and texting today. The playing field's still the playing field. We've still got work to do.
Yeah, one of the things that makes it difficult to get a customer on the phone, again, is the last experience that they had with one of the people that work for you. Train your people to treat the people the right way when they have them on the phone. Allow them to educate the customer on what's available to them, and then maybe next time they will call.
It's almost easier for them not to stay in touch with us, because now with caller ID and everything, which they didn't have before, they know who's calling, they know when they're calling. It's easier for them actually to ignore us than it's ever been before.
Absolutely.
All right, last question. What is the biggest mistake you see operators make today when it comes to collections?
There you go. We don't mean that you're making a mistake.
Right, exactly. Never me, never the mistake person. Basically, poor training, not knowing what's going on with their own departments. You have to have a manager that's extremely involved and looking at everything and that they can pull as far as reports, and really not just looking at reports, but really spending time with their people. That's the biggest thing, is spending time with their people, having some motivation, some training over and over again. You have people, they start out really well and then they start sliding, and then you have to kind of get back in and motivate them yourself. And really, as they said before, you lead by example. As Alan was talking about earlier, if you're a boss, you have to come to work. You do lead by example. If you're motivated and you're enthusiastic about the job, then they will be too.
Well said.
Couldn't say it any better.
All right, thanks again, guys.
Follow